Diamond in the Rough here, back for another quick tutorial on organizing and planning to use some of your antique linens that you may have either received from a relative or grandmother or loved one, or even procured from the secondhand stores. They add a lot of charm to your presentations and parties you might be working with, and they are good to use every day because every day is a good day for a good doily. Now, what you see on my work table here, and I'm in my basement studio in the Funk Lab, working to get some things done for an upcoming party. I have some doilies here that just some suggestions on how to work them around and into your decorative presentations here. Now here you see one that's on a tailor's ham. And you know what these are, sewers and sewists. The things that we use to give shape to our clothing and things that we are working on, or give shape to a piece of art that you're working on. And what you see below, I'll do the bigger one first. Here's one, excuse me, and I have a bit of a cold and some congestion here. Uh, Here's one that is already pinned out, and it is a staple to my iron surface, and we'll talk about that later. Upcoming workshop coming on how to construct one of these. This is an oversized ironing table that I created because my regular ironing board was not enough. And I put it on a piece of colored fabric so that you can see it better as opposed to the white ironing surface I have below. But what you see here is that everything is ironed, or rather laid out first after I have sprayed them with water a little bit, and then in my hand balled up and folded up like you would a Kleenex. That way your overspray is not wasted, with some spray starch of your choice. Get it anywhere you can, Wally World, Dollar Store, Dollar General, however way you can get your hands on it. Damp it first with your starch, and then press it out or smooth it out with your hands, and iron the points that you want to protrude or stick up. Now you're going to need a lot of pins on this, but that's just the way of the beast. That's how you have to work it in order to iron it in a way that it comes up pretty nice. I'm going to just open up my pin box as I pull it off so you can see how it looks once it is ironed. Leave it to dry because there will be a little bit of moisture left in it. And I've left this to dry to block it probably about a day. It really does it overnight, actually. So I'm going to move some back and then get to some of those that I've done already. Now here you can see that it's all nice and flat, crispy. My edges are trimmed that you can see, or shaped rather, so that they look nice on the table. You can even fold it up if you want to stick it in a vase and have some flowers inside it, maybe some faux flowers, or even flowers that's in one of those tubes that keep your flowers fresh for boutonnieres and things like this. This looks well even as a layout on a table and stuck in a glass to look cute. But it holds its shape. I usually store them flat as I can use them. And it's pretty easy. I'm going to grab some that I have already on the surface that I've done earlier, and these are the same way. Nice and flat, crispy, cute. Here's one that has a flounced edge around it, and I had to iron this literally the same way with my spray starch. Excuse me, I have a cold here. And you can see where it's, twisted and curled and whatnot, because that's the nature of how it was constructed. A lot of the handwork is really pretty. I will say when you're doing a bunch of these, you can ball them up together when they're damp and spray them all at one time. Because of the open work of the handwork, you don't want to waste any overspray on your surface, right? These are all done same way, laid out nice and flat, ironed with my iron. And if you're worried about scorching, because I like to use a hot iron with this, put a press cloth over it, or you can use parchment paper that you use in the kitchen. Makes a great cover for your nicely decorative textiles and things of that sort. So these are all done the same way. And when I go to store these, I might even store them smallest to largest, one at a time. And all of these necessarily don't have to be ironed, as my next example will show you. I stack them up smallest to largest, just on a simple flat surface. Sometimes I'll put a board between it with a little bit of heavy folded tissue paper, but all of them pretty much work the same. I'll put the large one at the bottom so you can see that. And then my last example is one of the ones which I think is the prettiest. It's one of the one with a very nice picot edge. There's one there that goes in the middle. This one is still on my pen ham, if you will. And it, as you notice, let me kind of zoom in closer so you can see it, where you can see where each of these 3 points, I'll turn it this way to see it better, are each pinned one at a time all the way around. And it's on my dressmaker ham. This one I haven't ironed because I wanted to see what happened when I just pinned it to block it, let it dry in its final position without ironing it. Our grandmothers had to learn these skills, and great-grands had to learn these skills as part of so-called the well-defined housewife. I remember my mother getting, I think, either Good Housekeeping magazine, and in the back, I remember they always had crochet patterns. And she did it a little bit as a girl. My grandmother did it. I wish I had some of my grandmother's linens. I'm going to take these off real quick. It takes a lot of pins, you notice, because each one of these 3 picots have to be stretched out in order to dry open, so that you can see the open work of the doily being used. So these, I got almost all the pins out. And I like the silk pins if you can get them. In the age of the tariffs, honey, you have to find material where you can. The thinner the pin, the better. If you can, get your hands on the glass pins. But use what you have. If you have to iron or block a shape in bits and pieces and parts, do that. However way you can get it done, get it done. But these look nice on a dressed table. They look nice on under a vase of flowers. Well, the last pin is out. Let me take it off the ham so you can see it. They look, doilies and flowers are for every time. Now, this wasn't ironed at all. It was just laid out on my ham, and it's got a little bit of stiffness to it, because as they get damp, they're going to get softer. So make sure you keep them dry as best you can. Layer them between tissue paper, and where you have some that has the flounces and folds like this one does, you may be able to put, I've seen them in museum curators boxes where there's a roll of acid-free tissue paper under each one of the ups and downs of the edge of a flounce in order for it to keep its shape. But that's only for, museum quality or museum curated kind of boxes. So, again, Diamond in the Rough, giving some suggestions on how to handle your doilies. Remember, after your events, and this is a suggestion because I've learned from experience, don't forget, whenever you finish your parties, wash everything. Don't assume because you can't see it, there's not some dot of food or something on it, because you'll pay for it in the end with dark spots and discoloration based on the food that might be on it. So take care of your doilies, do them right, wash them in baby shampoo, iron them flat, or leave them just flat till it's time to iron it, because it is a pain ironing all of these. But hey, when you have that table rocking and flossing and looking nice, people will wonder, how did you do that? Now you know one of the secrets on how to do it. Thanks. Everyone have a good sewing, and diamond miners, keep digging for the gold within. Thank you. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe.